Hello again, everybody in internet land. Welcome again to our final review of Top Rope Beers to lead up to today, what is the first night of Wrestlemania 37. So within the next few hours' time, I should be suitably half cut, falling asleep into a Gino's pizza and missing all of the festivities. To get us warmed up, this evening we will be having a go at two big hitters in the world of wrestling, one being the Big Simcoe, as a tribute to the big show himself, the big fella. And then this one here is the head of the table, which is, I suppose, today's golden boy, Roman Reigns. That's based after. So, Richie, we was talking off camera about having a go at the head of the table, first of all. What do you know about that, mate?
Yeah, so it's a 6.2% IPA. Untapped to get a very good score, actually, at 3.9. The hops are Citra and Sabro, which, as you know, Sabro has been it's been really popular, hasn't it, last year or so, actually.
Yeah.
Seen a lot of beers now. So I suspect, expect fruity, tropical, pineapple-y kind of profile. Oats again, which we seem to be seeing a lot in Top Rope as well. So smooth, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Are we going to do the honours, mate? Start cracking cans.
Crack it open, mate. So what's the head of the table? Because I've got to say, mate, Roman Reigns is, I know of him, but it's kind of, my era is kind of like mid-90s wrestling, early 2000s maybe. So
I've got to say, mate, running this pub and just generally life, I'm not getting to watch as much wrestling as I used to do, to be perfectly fair. Yes, there we are, folks. I'm falling asleep a lot more often these days. But I can tell you a bit about Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, he is part of the massive Samoan dynasty in wrestling. So he's cousins with The Rock. He's cousins with the Usos. Anyone who watches wrestling now will know the Usos. His dad is Fatu of the Head Shrinkers. So yeah, massive Samoan legacy. And he's basically came up into WWE. There's a group called The Shield, which race.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of out on his own, actually being a heel, because every sort of wrestling nerd like me were like bored to death of him being a babyface, and now he is the dick he always could have been. And so yeah, his gimmick's like he's the head of the table, like the head of the family, the Samoan chief. You know what I mean? So he's just a jerk basically, and it suits him, and I like him now as a result. So yes, I've had the privilege of trying this already, mate. So
right, okay.
Been a bit sneaky and gone ahead and had one prior. So that's
awesome. It
does, mate. Yeah,
tropical, fruity, as kind of expected. Oh, ain't that delicious?
It's as good as I remember. It's as good as I remember from like 3 nights ago.
That is really good, guys. Slightly hazy, really fruity, isn't it?
I'd say it's a massive hit on the nose, isn't it? Actually, it's like that classic sort of tropical sort of aroma to it. I was only going to pour half of this and that, like, sort of have the rest of this off camera with you, but I haven't. That's going in. I'm going to drink that. Probably all in a one, to be fair. It's just very, very quaffable, mate.
Oh,
you've got the Citra in it, haven't you? And as you said, really, that there seems to be quite a theme, really, with Top Rope, the oats, which gives that sort of smoothness, and again, like, good mouthfeel as well, and
big time. That's
just a very nice round beer. That
it's banging, mate. I'm loving that. That is one of the best Top Ropes I've had. Is it a pretty new one, Scott? This one?
It is, mate. It's just brand spanker. So obviously that, there's been a couple here that we've done over this period that a couple of core ones like Papa Mango and Cold Stone Cream Austin. They're core ones, it seems. And obviously over like previous episodes, we've done things like Lime Sheet and Steel, Idaho Train and stuff. And I think they were probably just like one-off things, and they're just, they do nods to general wrestlers from the past or whatever. I suppose obviously with Roman being like probably the face of the company really at the minute, they've decided to do something around him. And yeah, it's that new, mate. I've sort of started clocking. They've started like putting like a little match pairing.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was pretty
music on the tan, like, so it's like, they recommend you drink this while watching him versus Drew McIntyre at Survivor Series 2020. It's just a cool little touch, man. And
I like it.
Obviously, the can's like all big sort of Samoan symmetry and symbolism rather. So yeah, just a neat can, neat idea, and pretty much brand new beer as far as I can tell, mate.
So
very, very nice.
I was thinking to myself, what an opportunity this would have been to make a table beer. So I was going to call it Head of the Table. But honestly, mate, that idea can go take a hike, because that is a fantastic. Mate, it's just so juicy. 6.2% as well. I don't know if 6% these days is nothing, right? To be honest, but it doesn't feel like you're drinking 6%, does it? It's just so easy to go down. It's dead tasty.
We've said this before. I think like 6 is the new session, isn't it? Which is ridiculous, really.
It's insane.
But, then you know about it, don't you? After a session of it, really.
Totally.
It creeps up on you. But to your table beer points, I'm pretty sure in the past they've done one called Get the Tables,
right?
Which was a Dudley Boys Mickey tag.
Yes, of course.
Like with the camo can and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, good opportunity to have the. I think they've done it. Had they not done it, it would have been a good opportunity. But
fair enough. I didn't know that.
Would have been a waste on like a 2% beer for me. Because that is
totally.
That is spot on, mate.
I'm pretty sure last week I gave. Well, it's gone live this week, hasn't it? But I gave the Triple H a 4.25.
You did.
How
are you feeling on this one, mate?
Oh, it's pretty good. It's really good, isn't it? It's at least a 4 for me. I don't know. I need to think about this for a moment. What about you?
Well, I'll tell you mine, mate. I normally pitch around 4 if I'm really particularly enjoying something, to be honest with you. But I am really enjoying that. And I suppose, I don't know if it's just as a result of I like this more than Belgian beers. And I only give Triple H a 4. Mm-hmm. So it's my top mark of the whole series. I'm giving that 4.25.
Dude, I'm going to join you. I'm going to go 4.25 as well. It's just a dead good beer. Like, it's not over the top, is it? It's juicy, it's just dead easy to drink as well. That's the worrying thing. At 6.2%, it's just too easy.
It's almost gone now, mate. I've absolutely nailed that, and I could happily do another.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Thoroughly enjoyed that.
Very, very nice, mate. That is on Deliver Brew. It should definitely be seeked out.
Should we move on to the next one then, mate?
Indeed, mate. So the next one is the Big Simcoe.
No, what's that named after, Scott? Who's that named after?
Well, it's the Big Show, mate. That's what it's named after. Yes, mate. It's got like Big Show sort of Titantron artwork on it and whatever. Obviously, don't know if that lot about all the ingredients, but I would dare say Simcoe's in it, as it's.
You could be right, mate. Yes.
One of my favourite things about this, just being a wrestling knobhead, is the fact that the percentage as well, the ABV on this is 7.2%, and Big Show's always been billed as 7'2", 500 pounds. So it's just knowing that these guys are well into the wrestling as well, and I've spoke to the owner of the gaff, and you can tell he's in a similar sort of wrestling nerddom as a spare. That ain't by coincidence, I doubt. So that's a nice little tip of the cap person.
Oh my! And anybody who backward engineers their beer to match the name and percentage of the, of the beer. Just get smiled about every time. That's awesome. Now, one thing I've found which is quite weird because there's actually, I don't know if it exists now, but there have been two versions of this Big Simcoe. So you're right. The one we've got here is the 7.2. But I think there is like an 8.5 out there as well, which I don't know if it exists anymore. So just to confirm, guys, the one we have is the current 7.2%. And yeah, of course, it's going to be. I assume it is just going to be, Simcoe. But I did read as well. It's rye as well. Now, to be honest, I don't know. I've had plenty of rye beers and I've enjoyed them, but I'm not quite sure what it is about rye that makes it a rye beer. Does that make sense that they're using like rye malt in it? I don't know enough about it to kind of say what that profile should be, to be honest with you. But
is there I don't know if I should be sort of like give myself some sort of preconception on it, but what do you know anything about what Untapped's saying about this? Is this score-wise? Is this quite?
This one's got a 3.5 on there. The 8.5% ABV did have a higher score, so I'm not sure. But
all right. No, 3.5, mate. As we were saying last week, I think pretty much anything above 3, it's been, a decently pleasurable experience. So we'll be the judge of that one, right? Let's crack it and. Well, it's the big show. So the big Simcoe's got to offer, right? Big dome bubble has formed on top of mine. All
Bloody hell.
Certainly quite thick looking, isn't it, that mate?
Looks like a juicy bad boy, doesn't it, mate?
Yeah, oh, cry. Big hit of aroma on that.
Yeah. Like if it's just literally, all the hopping's been in Simcoe, I assume this is going to be pretty piney and earthy, which I'm not sure about. I do like Simcoe when it's kind of combined. If it is just Simcoe, well, let's see how, I suppose.
Yeah, man.
It smells great, and it just looks. It was incredible, doesn't it? It's got straight in. What do you reckon, mate?
It's quite nice, that, mate. I know what you were going to say, like about the. Oh well, no, your face is telling me otherwise.
Very good. But the aftertaste, awful, yeah.
Hey.
The aftertaste after that's proper, like I'm getting proper like peppery, earthy.
It's more bitter than that. Like for me, the head of the tail was spot on. That is nice, mate. I like that. Now I think I've said this before when we was drinking at Can of Whoppass. There's elements of that in this to me,
right?
That bitter edge. I said I would quite happily drink that all night, sort of thing. About the Whoppass one.
Yeah,
and I don't know. It's quite in that stratosphere, but for me, that is very, very nice. It's quite. I say quite bitter aftertaste, but that doesn't upset me one iota.
This is the weird thing with this actually, because it is bitter, but it's actually quite dry, which I wonder if that might be the rye thing actually.
It might well be. I say all that. To be honest with you, I know that's billed as an IPA, but that almost is a double dry hop to me. Well, it's not. Sorry, not a double dry hop. It's a dry hop. I suppose the double dry hop because it just seems there's only Simcoe in it. Do you know what I mean? It seems like a DDH sort of profile, doesn't it? If you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's thick, isn't it? And it's, yeah. You ain't seen through that anytime soon. It's really good for me. I kind of struggle with the kind of peppery, spicy stuff, particularly if it's the most prominent hop.
Yeah, mate, to me, I personally had far more peppery, like finishes that I've gone, and I'm with you. Sometimes so pairing, it's
like Chinook. I often struggle with that. If it's just, if the main contender is Chinook, like I'm not going to enjoy it. I'll drink it and it's good, but mate, that's an ace beer. It's really, really, really good beer.
Yeah, it's like anything. It's about balance, and to me, that's quite nicely balanced. It isn't too overbearing. It isn't too. They haven't got too much of an aftertaste to it. That's unpleasant, basically. Yes.
I could certainly enjoy a glass of that, like a schooner or something like that.
Yeah.
Or 40 ml can, I might find that a little bit too much, I think. But then again, as we've said before, it's advertising exactly what it's meant to be doing. It is it's a Simcoe IPA. It tastes like Simcoe. They've done an ace job of making a Simcoe IPA.
Nice, mate. And as I've said before, if it was all the same, it'd be boring, wouldn't it? And beauty is in the gob of the beholder, right, mate?
That's the old Chinese proverb, isn't it?
The old proverb, mate. I
think. Fantastic. Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm doing a disservice here because it is a dead good beer.
Well, have you got a rating for it, mate? Or
I would. God, I'm hovering around the 3.75 to 4 range actually because it is a really good beer.
I just generally thought you'd be lower on this.
No, because I've always tried to, and I've been guilty. Like I broke the rule probably last week with the lime kolsch. I've always tried to rate a beer, even if I'm not quite keen on the hop profile or that type of beer. I try and rate it on it being a good beer, and that is a good beer.
But based on what it was set out to.
Well, yeah, it says it's a Simcoe IPA, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
The percentage works beautifully with it. Just look at it; it just looks fantastic, doesn't it? But if I had to choose between like a tropical IPA and a kind of earthy, peppery IPA, I'm going to take tropical any day of the week.
Yeah, fair comment, mate.
Tough. I think I'm going to be at 3.75.
Fair comment, mate. Good score. I've enjoyed it too. I think it's lovely. But I'm with you. 3.75. I think I'm, as I've said before, quite stingy, to be honest with you. But I think that's very nice. And I'll put that in the whoop-ass camp. And I think I'll give whoop-ass a 4. I don't think it's quite as good as that one.
Yeah, probably not as much mouthfeel and thickness.
Yeah, that was just a dank beaut.
Yeah.
And that, don't get me wrong, that ain't a million miles away. But,
no.
I've got to weigh up which one did I prefer more. Well, so in which case I should mark it down because it's not quite as good as that in my book. But still bloody lovely beer, mate. I'm slightly different to you. I'd probably have a couple of schooners of that because that suits me. That's my cup of tea. But yeah, definitely like of the two, if you offered me which I could drink the most of, I'd think I'd definitely want to go for the head of the table one personally. That is an absolute beauty. So
really, really good,
mate. By more luck than judgment, I genuinely feel like we've found the best two cans to like our last episode because you know what I mean. Like, not that I haven't enjoyed all the other ones.
I think you could be right,
mate. They're properly right in my wheelhouse. The pair of them.
Fair enough.
I've enjoyed those both massively, and that's been a pleasure to drink them.
The head of the table's ace. The Big Simcoe is really, really good as well. As Scott said, we don't have that. So if you see it, get it. It is great. For me, it would be a toss-up between head of the table and the Triple H because I do like a Belgian beer, and that was a fantastic Belgian style triple.
Yeah, I mean, that's blowing smoke. I think there's been far more hits than misses from what we've reviewing it over the last 4 episodes, where it's been now. Coming in, I don't think we knew what to expect. We probably just thought, is it going to be gimmicky? I don't know. Is it just the crack and how much weight's actually behind this? But they're a good brewery, mate. I'm chuffed, and I'm also racked off. We took so long to do this. We should have got them on deck a bit sooner, really. But I'm glad we finally got them on board now, mate, and very, very pleased with everything I've drank so far.
For sure, mate. Yeah, for sure. That hasn't been a bad beer.
We're going to do a competition, as we've been sort of threatening all along. So basically, we'll put on to accompany this video the details of the goodies that you can win. But basically, to win some arcade merch and to win some Top Rope merch, we're going to run a competition. And all you'll need to do is share this post that this video is attached to, either on Facebook. So what we want you to do is either like and share on Facebook, or if you're doing this on Instagram, if you like our page and then basically tag 3 of your friends, we will then at random by the end of Wrestlemania weekend, so on the Sunday, we will pick a winner from either Instagram or Facebook. It'll all just go into a hat, and that lucky person shall win the arcade and Top Rope swag haul. So check out on this video all the details. We'll sort of tell you that again, and you'll see what you get to win. And that's the crux of it, really, Richard.
Awesome, mate. Okay. Well, I think we've got a winner then.
Yeah, this is it. Not a winner's the competition, just in case you're confused. I mean, if the man's put it up there, if this was the main event of WrestleMania, for me, the man getting the hand raise, Roman Reigns.
I think you're right, mate. Awesome stuff.
As he say, believe that.